Lot of build-up to this high-stakes meeting between these two men. It is actually the first time they met on stage since 2020. This is the earliest presidential debate in modern history. It could certainly shake up the race that's been deadlocked for months. The debate stage set up at CNN studios in Atlanta, Georgia. An interesting statistic, the podiums are set up just 8 feet from each other, so the two men will be very close. President Biden arrived aboard Air Force One this afternoon. He has devoted much of this week to prepping for this debate, surrounded by a group of advisors at Camp David. Mr. Trump also landed in Atlanta this afternoon. He's taken a different approach, attending fundraisers and rallies and having some more informal debate prep sessions. This marks the first time we'll see a presidential debate between a former and a sitting U.S. president, and they will have a big audience. More than 70% of registered voters are expected to watch the debate, according to a new poll. Oh, yeah, and the rules, those are different, too.
You shut up, man.
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
Who's on your list?
Right.
Gentlemen, I think we've ended this.
Unprecedented.
In an effort to see fewer outbursts like this one during their first debate in 2020, the candidates' microphones will be muted when it is not their turn to speak. Also, there will not be an in-person audience, and no props or pre-written notes are allowed. CNN has not provided the topics, but surely the economy, international relations, abortion rights, crime, all of those are likely to be addressed. Both men will scrutinize each other's records as president, and perhaps beyond their records, voters will likely be looking for energy. Can President Biden allay concerns about his age? How will he make the argument against Trump? Will former President Trump be disciplined and focused on the issues? Those are just some of the questions that will be answered in just about an hour here.
A lot of voters are really going to be focusing more on the style and the way the candidates comport themselves and how they interact with each other, rather than necessarily their policy positions. Because again, these candidates are very familiar to us. We know them both pretty well already. We have a good sense of where each of them stands, and they are very different from each other in terms of policy positions. Most voters have already made up their minds. So this is really going to be an interesting debate.
There is a second debate on the book scheduled for September 10th, but obviously a lot of pressure as it's the first opportunity to meet in this setting for the two men.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of voters out there are going to be looking closely at that energy. Who is going to bring more energy? Saying that, do you think there are voters out there, especially in swing states, who can be swayed tonight? Yeah,
it's a small portion, right, of independent voters, people who aren't sure yet. You've got some sort of disaffected Republicans who don't want to vote for someone that's been convicted of felonies. You've also got some support for those third-party candidates like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Can they be pulled away from those candidates? All of them sort of watching tonight to see if either of these men can make an impact. We should also point out 70% of Americans do not want this rematch. So with that being said, how do you excite people, and can either of them set forth a plan for the next 4 years that people will say, okay, I'm going to get off the couch and go vote?
Yeah, and Governor Newsom, he will be there. Can you explain his role? He's talking about that surrogate role.
Yeah, he's one of the Democrats and national Democrats who will be there in the spin room afterwards. And that's sort of the debate after the debate, right? You want your powerful surrogates on both sides saying, we won tonight because X, Y, and Z. And in this sort of generation that we're living in now, everyone's looking for a viral moment during the debate.
Social media,
something that can be TikTok, something that can be put on Instagram, a 15-second clip that says, wow, Biden really delivered, oh, wow, Trump really got him there. So that's something to watch, too.
All right, Greg, appreciate it. Thank you.